Hey everybody, this is Tom. So you'd think that after the pretty explosive reception of the last Hogwarts Legacy related video, I wouldn't be in a hurry to make another one, but here we are. My last video was mainly focused on Bash, Sebastian Croft, and that situation specifically, and not really on the game itself. So let's talk about the game and the Harry Potter franchise in general. And let me say before I begin, this video is not directed at J.K. Rowling supporters or people who use phrases like biological woman and rapid onset gender dysphoria. This is directed at those of you who know that what J.K. Rowling is doing is wrong, but are still on the fence about whether or not to continue consuming her content. So, you're thinking of buying Hogwarts Legacy. First off, I understand. It looks like a cool game, and there are ads for it everywhere, probably even on this video because irony is a thing that exists. I spend a lot of time hanging out in Twitch streams, and more often lately I see people saying, well, of course I don't support J.K. Rowling, but I've been into Harry Potter since I was a kid, and I'm definitely getting the game. And there's nothing wrong with feeling that way. Childhood nostalgia is a really powerful thing, and the Harry Potter world has meant a lot to a lot of us. I mean, me too. I'm a Gryffindor, my Patronus is a Lynx, and Remus Lupin is basically me, or who I aspire to be. So I get it. I get feeling strong emotional ties to this franchise. It's brought us so much joy and comfort and so many other good things, and severing that connection feels like cutting off a lifelong friend. But here's the thing. We can say, I don't support J.K. Rowling, but if we buy this game, we are supporting her. Buying this game supports her financially, but more than that, it keeps her relevant. It sends the message that nothing she has said or done has been bad enough for us to stop sending her our money and the support that implies. And if you don't think that's the message she's getting, then I would direct you to this tweet from October of last year. Someone asked, how do you sleep at night knowing you've lost a whole audience from buying your books? And she responded, I read my most recent royalty checks and find the pain goes away pretty quickly. She interprets royalty checks as support for her views. I've seen a lot of streamers talking about playing the game and making a donation to a trans charity. And for the record, I am always going to be in favor of charitable donations, especially ones that benefit the LGBTQ community. And at least it's an attempt to offset the harm caused by buying this game and keeping this franchise and its author popular and relevant. But is it enough? That's something you'll have to decide for yourself, but personally, I can't help feeling that it really isn't. I'm not going to go into a long list of the many harmful and transphobic views J.K. Rowling has put forth over the last few years, but what I will say is that her impact has been undeniable. Lawmakers quote her when putting forward transphobic bills, and the anti-trans sentiment in the UK in particular has never been higher. For a lot of people, their love of this franchise has been twisted into unthinking support of anything its author has to say. It has radicalized so many people, feeding them misinformation and inflated statistics until they fully believe the narrative that trans people are dangerous, predatory deviants whose only desire is to break into women's spaces and assault them. Many of the people who take this stance are victims of sexual assault, Rowling included. But they're confusing predatory cisgender men with trans women who are at a higher risk of sexual violence, and violence in general, than any other group out there. People like J.K. Rowling don't understand that trans women are not their enemies, and never have been. They've become so entrenched in their views that nothing can dig them out again. But this video isn't about them. It's about you. I have no right to tell you whether or not to buy this game, but what I can tell you is what message you send to trans people when you do. When I see somebody gushing about how they can't wait to play this game, something inside of me shuts down. It's disappointment and exhaustion and an overwhelming feeling of this game is more important to you than we are. That's the message you're sending to trans people when you buy this game. I've heard so many people say, oh, calm down, it's just a game. But it's not just a game. It's giving your money and implied support to someone who is actively making our lives pretty miserable. Somebody who continues to use her massive platform to spread misinformation and frankly appalling takes that too many people are starting to agree with because of who's saying them. There's a lot of talk of separating the art from the artist, but when the artist is still here in the world actively causing damage, that feels like an irresponsible route to take. I mean, imagine if Donald Trump built some amazing amusement park or something, and it had the best rides, and the best food, and the best of everything. I mean, imagining for a second that he's actually a competent enough business person to actually pull that off. I mean, he didn't design it himself, he's not one of the hundreds or thousands of employees working there, but he is the driving force behind it. It's his name on the front. Would you feel comfortable going there? Would you feel right about giving him your money after everything he's done, everything he's said, and all the damage he's caused? Maybe you would, and ultimately that's your decision, just like this is. In the grand scheme of things, yeah, we're talking about a video game. It'll come out, a ton of people will buy it, it'll be hot news for a while, and then it'll fade out and we'll move on to the next thing. But not buying this game, and sending a very clear message about why you're not buying it, is one thing you can do to show that you do not support J.K. Rowling, and you do support people like me. We really, really need your support. She doesn't. Just something to think about.